Are you truly, genuinely happy? Not the fake answer you give everybody else, that voice in the back of your head. Are you truly happy? That's the question we are exploring this week in our series, Come On, Get Happy. Ellen Petrie Leance worked in Silicon Valley for over 30 years with companies like Apple, Google, and Facebook. But she says technology actually ruined her happiness, and it is probably hurting yours too. She hopes her book, The Happiness Hack, will change the way people connect with their devices, with their loved ones, and even with themselves. Ellen, welcome.
Thank you, Megyn.
It's great to have you here. So you immersed yourself for a living in the creation of technology, and the lesson you gleaned from it was what?
Well, you know, over 30 years working in technology, I saw so many changes. And I saw all of the things that technology did to make our lives more productive, to help us get more done with less time. And I saw this flurry of activity, not necessarily activity that was meaningful, but activity, taking over the world of business, but then with the advent of mobile technologies, our lives. And I felt something was off. I didn't feel myself getting happier. And I began to wonder what is really going on here. And because I've always been interested in the way the brain works, I looked deeply at the neuroscience of motivation and reward and the way that the use of technology was associated with what sparks us to think, yeah, I want that.
Mm-hmm. She calls it tequila shot happiness that it creates. You know, sort of that instant, yeah you know. But I love it, you open the book by saying, why do people around me seem to be thriving while I'm so overwhelmed? Mm-hmm. Is this really what life is supposed to look like? Have you ever had that feeling? Like, is this really what life is supposed to be? This constant, like, from A to B, looking at the phone, down at the device. It's too much.
It's too much. It's really too much. You know, I want to be honest, that time where I was asking those difficult questions that I opened the book with, there was more going on than the tech, but it was really living the life I think that everyone told me I should be living. Mm-hmm. And following those maps for what a good life would be, I felt like I was always chasing to the next destination rather than really taking time to travel, as the saying goes. You know, they say happiness is not a destination, but a way of travel.
And now we don't. I mean, honestly, I've talked about this just on the way home from work. I passed by beautiful Central Park with the snow-covered bridges, and I'm looking at the device. Right. Why am I doing it? I don't want to do it.
But I know why you're doing it, and I can tell you, and it's this. It's not really you, Megyn, that's doing it. It's your brain that's doing it. Your brain has been habituated to turn to those motivation and reward cycles that technology and many other things, tech isn't the first, it's simply the most intense and the best, has done to us. So we are drawn into the loop, if you will, that says more, more, more. And the phones give us that gratification.
It's like a high. It's the tequila shot.
It is the tequila
shot. But there's a different, longer-term happiness that is created by doing this with the iPhone, right? Or the device, and that's what we need to be going for. Explain.
It is. It's actually, they're, you know, loosely associated with two brain chemicals. One is dopamine, which is more of the tequila shot satisfaction, and the other things associated with it. It's not as simple as this, but with serotonin, oxytocin, vasopressin if you're a man, and other brain chemicals. But these are the things that are much more about that deep internal satisfaction that we all seek in life. Relationship is the number one thing. You're absolutely right. The three things that I think really bring happiness, true happiness, are relationships, contribution, the feeling that you're doing something of value that you're offering to the world, and growth, that we're learning and becoming better versions of ourselves. And those are true across time and across circumstances. Often we think those are the things we'll do once we get all the other stuff done. Right. But we have a choice.
Well, what about, I mean, now do you use a phone at all?
Oh, I couldn't live without my phone.
You do? So you use it?
Oh, heck yeah. And I'm in charge of it. It's not in charge of me.
Well, how's that possible?
Practice. Everything's... Well, here's good news.
Yeah.
Your brain will do more of whatever it's doing right now. And I say in my book, 5% changes can make a huge difference. So only try to use the phone 5% less a day.
And how about our kids?
Oh, man, this is a whole other topic, right? So I believe that the right way is to really talk honestly with kids. We didn't have the phones when I was raising my kids. They're adults now. But I did talk with them about things like cigarettes and other sort of habits that were being pushed upon them. And one of the things I said is the people who make these things have an agenda, and it does not have your best interests at heart. They have something they want from you when you smoke their cigarettes. They want you to be addicted because they want your money over time.
And it's the same.
Isn't it?
The same.
Yeah.
The same way you wouldn't let your kid sit there with a pack of cigarettes. Will you let him sit there with the iPad day after day, hour after hour, as a babysitter, knowing what it's doing to his mind?
I think the book is called The Happiness Hack, and I do think there's a hack, a brain hack of epic proportion happening right now, unprecedented in human history. But if we talk to our kids about it and help them understand, when it's in charge of them, they are not in charge of their lives.
Take a walk. Connect with nature,
Beautiful.
Connect with a friend,
Right.
Connect with yourself. Don't focus so much on productivity.
Right.
Focus a little bit more on love and kindness and well-being and giving. Ellen, you've done that here today.
You're so great. Thank you,
ma'am.
Megyn. What a pleasure.
We appreciate it. Again, it's called The Happiness Hack.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.